Hello, welcome to the very first build of Project Hospital, a game that's very near and dear to my heart because I've been waiting for this to come out for so long. I do love art, I've been doing art my whole life, I do love building stuff, so I thought I'd give this a go. I took inspiration from my local hospital in my local area because it's quite large, so you can see kind of how I've lined everything up. The black areas down there, they're just kind of like reference points to line everything up, and you'll see in a minute how I start fleshing things out. We're lining, like I said, the way I wanted to do this is kind of in 4 sections. I kind of want a green, blue, red and yellow or white ward. The blue area that we're doing now will be in the main bit of the hospital. What we're fleshing out now, as you can see, you've got this little walk path which will have like benches and flowers and, you know, general hospital kind of like welcoming area where people will cross over into the main bit, which will have your reception, your doctor's office, your MRI scans, your x-rays, and then later on we start building the red ward, which will be the ICU ward, the intensive care unit, the you know, the general surgeries, not the general surgery, sorry, the you know, operating surgeries and stuff, all emergency based stuff. And then we don't get it done now, but the green ward will be a general, you know, wards for, you know, patients who need like casts or, you know, need to stay overnight in hospital. And then the white ward or the yellow ward will be at the back, which will be the, you know, it'll be have like the stat labs in there, it'll have the common rooms, it'll just be for staff really, so they can go and do that. Right now we're just doing the entrance. Like I said, we're just pinpointing, making it look kind of pretty. You know, we don't want it to be too blocky. This game's really good, but at the moment, because it's so early, it's just come out, it's still kind of like, it doesn't have any curves or any angles that you can choose from, unfortunately. So you're basically stuck with either rectangles or squares, Tetris shapes basically, and you have to work with them, which is not too bad. You can make some fantastic, you know, buildings from what you've got, but it's hard when you don't really know how to build a hospital and where everything goes. But what we really want to get done is in this episode is just the general reception area, so where people can come in. Doctor's office, a small doctor's office right next to the reception where people can come in for the common code and whatever. And then we end up starting on our ICT ward as well. So here you can see I'm just kind of fleshing out the corridors and stuff and the main area. I've got some doors on the back there that will go into a small garden which will connect all the buildings. Here you can see I started on my reception. Now I started putting a wall in here. I wanted kind of like a fish tank looky thing, so I put flowers down and then I kind of get the big old windows and just paste them across. We don't get fish tanks or anything like that, but you know, I'm sure we will eventually. But for now we have to make do and we have to be a little bit more creative on that aspect. So here you go, you can see I'm just doing a small little reception area, kind of making it look neat, nice and neat, putting everything down. Well, I'll have reception, put a little flower there, and there we go, small little reception area so people can walk in, go to the doctors, or go down each corridor wherever they want to be. Now I start working on the doctor's office. I start moving this about. I make the building a little bit bigger because, like I said, I don't want it to look very blocky. I kind of want some angles on everything, just to kind of make it, as you can see, I got a small little angle there, just to make it a little bit more diverse, make the building look a bit more nicer, and yeah, just to give it a generally good appeal to it. Like I said, there's usually oh, as you can see up here, I got these stickers out. I forgot we had these. I'm just going to put down all the general what's going to be in this ward area, which is going to be doctors, MRIs, x-rays, CT scans, all that. And then I'm just flushing out some tables, pot plants, trash cans, chairs, just to make it look a bit different, you know, a little bit nicer, as you can see in the hospital. And as you can see, I go down here and start to work on down where the small little doctor's office is going to be, where you go to get your common codes and, you know, your whatever. I'm not a doctor, so I do not really know. You know, you got bruises and stuff. Put some tables down, even though those tables don't come, that you don't have to put those tables down, you know, you can still put them there, they still look quite nice. And then we start work on this small little doctor's office. We'll have other doctor's offices around, plastered around, bigger ones, more advanced ones, but like I said, usually when you go into a hospital, you get a relatively small doctor's office right next to reception. You get big waiting rooms as well, but for this one I just want a small one outside the doctor's office because I didn't want to use that much room on a waiting room when I can just put it in the corner and have it done with there. We might put another doctor's office on the side, I'm not too sure yet, just in case. The other side of this is going to stay plain until it gets busy, and then we might put a doctor's office there where I am now. Right now we're going to keep this plain. Another doctor's office will go here eventually, but for now we don't need one. I'm just working on where I want the outside bit to be, and I'm trying to line it up with this as well, which is going to be the intensive care unit. I couldn't move those yellow lines for some reason. This is why you see me stopping there for a little minute and you see me kind of figuring it out. You can kind of like it's kind of funny as you can move some areas but you can't delete the road. It's not a gripe, it doesn't bother me, it's just, it is what it is. So we just have to deal with it. As you can see, I'm kind of plastering it out, putting in the works, making everything look as ICT ward as you can. It's hard, like I said, I'm not a very good when it comes to hospitals and stuff. Architecturally speaking, I'm very in the dark about it, but I try my best. I do try to make it work. Just putting some flowers down and stuff, even though it's the ICT ward, just got to make it look a little bit pretty. They get wheeled in there. There's no entries. No entry for patients or guests this way, unless you've got somebody on this ward who's been wheeled in car accident or you know, he's been in a really bad accident. This is where they go. You know, I'll have a operating room at the back of this. As you can see, I'm flushing it out down there as well. That will connect to this ward will connect to the blue ward. The red ward will connect to the yellow ward, and then the green ward will be up in the corner. So that when the patients need x-rays or something, they go through to the blue ward. If they need surgery, they go down there, the white ward, and get everything done there. And if they come out of the operating room, they need to stay in for a bit more. I'm sure you probably do. If you've been brought into the intensive care unit, you'll go right up to the green ward. That's kind of how it works in hospitals, you know. You go to a hospital and, you know, you wait there for hours and hours to get seen to, and, you know, you need to stay in there and stuff. You've broken your arm or something, you go to this kind of the ward. They say, oh yep, you need to stay in, we need to operate on your arm, and then they push you like for hours down down the same corridors over and over again until you get to where your ward is, which is on the other side of the hospital. That's kind of what I wanted to do. I wanted to make it out as if, you know, the ICT ward and the general kind of ward where you'd be pushed to is kind of farther away, so you have to go all the way through all these different wards to get to it. That's kind of how hospitals work, isn't it? You have to go on a little adventure past everyone staring at you, you know, your crippled body parts, what you've just been in a car crash with or something. So as you can see, I'm flushing out six trauma centers here, where they would get wheeled in. I kind of took this from reference from one of the campaigns that I did. They have a build like this on one of their on the biggest campaign, the last one. So I kind of took reference from that, where you'd wheel in, you know, they'd have these walls up but they'd be open, where you just push the curtains to if something really bad happened. And then like the red tiles that are up there, they would have your kind of like computers and, you know, your surgery equipment, your stretchers and all that. I just need to check OBS for a minute. So yeah, and then that's basically what we're going to do. Is I'll show you how I want them set up. As you can see, I want them set up like this, and I'm just going to leave you like this. If you like this, comment or comment, whichever one you want to do. Thank you very much for watching. If you did watch it, if you want to watch episode 2, leave a like downstairs, and I shall see you in the next episode.